This is Brandon, or I guess now you might know me as the Grand Myth. I wanted to get on here and just answer some of the questions that you guys have been asking, or just respond to some of the comments on the videos that Dino Guy and Dino Man and the visualizer for Agony came up with. So first off, I see a lot of people talking about the Quetzalcoatlus and specifically Wayne June's performance on the record. I thought, so let's start there. So I thought it would be really cool to use some of the narration from the audiobooks, because originally I thought, oh, I'll just go and record it myself. But actually the first way I experienced Primitive War was in an audiobook, was the audiobook. So I went and checked that out. And by this point, Ethan and I had already started talking, and he'd given me his approval to work on the EP. So I had mentioned, like, why don't we use this? And up until that point, Ethan had not realized that I did vocals on my songs. He'd only gotten some of the demos I had started like throwing together to just like pitch it to him. And so he had said, oh, why don't we have all the vocals just be Wayne's performance, which I thought was cool, but I wanted to clarify, like, oh, I am going to do vocals on this track as well. So that led to a funny conversation. So what brought us to decide to use Wayne, though, was just like I didn't know he had passed away up until the artwork that Emily had made, and Ethan thought it'd just be really impactful to have him on all of the songs. So this is news that all of the songs except for the intro and the outro will feature some amount of dialogue from the original Primitive War novel, from Wayne June's actual performance from that, which Ethan graciously gave me access to the original files for, which is awesome. Okay, so next up, everybody keeps asking about the movie. I am not in any way related to the movie. It was actually a big part of the conversation that Ethan and I had. We actually had already had artwork being made of a Spinosaurus killing a soldier, but because of the movie having a Spinosaurus, we just really didn't want to get caught up saying like, oh, we're like, this is totally a tie-in to the movie. So we changed it to a Caprasuchus instead, which I think worked out. It seems like that shirt's been pretty popular, which is awesome. And that shirt was actually done by my friend Emma, who is a fantastic artist, and we work together at my day job, and very happy with how it turned out. A lot of people are talking about Ethan and both like their fan ideas of what should be put in the book and in the future books, and also like asking me to like reach out to him on your behalves and all that kind of stuff. And I promise you, he's reading everything. If you are not on the Primitive War Facebook group or subreddit, you really should check those out. We actually announced the EP about a month and a half earlier over there to get a gist of how excited people might be to have some collab go on. But yes, Ethan is checking out all of this stuff, and it's all been given either his blessing or his straight up approval. I was really excited. Recently I was showing him the most recent instrumental of Tyrant Father, which is, you could probably guess, is the T-Rex song, and very stoked that he said that was like right away a favorite, which is very cool. Let's talk about Dinofax and Dino Guy. Ethan has been doing a ton of work on the back end. Like he'll just message me and be like, hey, Dinofax wants to, do you know who Dinofax is? I'm like, yeah, of course, like, duh, I'm not I live under a rock. And then he would be like, oh, I showed him some of the demos, and he wants to promote it. And same thing with Dino Guy, which is just so cool. Dino Guy is a little bit more recent, but I've been watching Dinofax's shorts for a while now, and now to be able to say like we're like internet friends is really cool. And he's a super down to earth guy, and they have been so helpful with the EP. And so it was very awesome that they both agreed to do voiceover work at the end of the EP. which I'm really excited for people to hear. It's quick, but it's fun, and it's definitely recognizable as them. And once again, that was another thing that Ethan really got going. So he had reached out to both of them independently before I got a chance to chat with them. And then he had also had the idea of like I wanted Ethan to do some voiceover on it because I thought that would be fun. And he actually was the one who suggested getting Dino Guy and Dino Facts together, which was awesome. I mean, come on. Let's talk about the artwork. I think everyone can agree the artwork is freaking cool. I drew that on my little Kobo e-reader and sent it off to a couple artists who maybe we'll be working with in the future. If this does really well, we're talking about doing a full album. And we ended up going with Sheeran. I don't know how you say their name, but their Instagram handle is whyflippinme, and totally awesome to work with. Unbelievable artwork. Every time I got a sketch back or whatever, I was just flabbergasted. I was like, wow, I can't believe the artwork is so good, honestly. And so like it always feels weird because like it's not my art, I just paid for it, but it feels awesome to say like I had a small part of like getting that idea off the ground. And a funny thing is that Ethan and I just like, I think kind of like, how do you put this? He was not a fan of the Quetzalcoatlus' tongue choking the T-Rex. He actually had the idea after the artwork was finished of like maybe having its head turned around and it was like stabbing the T-Rex instead. But I just thought like the tongue is so iconic in the book, and you know, it's not like it's official artwork for the books or anything. It's definitely not like scientifically accurate paleo art, so it's fine. And the way people have been responding has been hilarious, and I love it. And so I'm glad that we went with that. I want to say that I'm really blown away by how much people have responded to it. Like I am in this group, like it is not lost on me that I am not a hot commodity. Like the influencers are fucking cool dudes. Ethan is a cool dude. Primitive War is sick. It has a movie coming out this year, and to see so many people react to the music and be so into it is awesome. It's kind of overwhelming if I'm being honest. Like it's cool. There's a couple comments that really just I think are like the best comments you can get. Let me try to find them really quick. Okay, so from on YouTube at Explore4562, you wrote, "I am not much of a fan for heavy metal, but bro, this was so fire." And like I can't stress enough, it is so cool when people earnestly like death metal, because it really is like a difficult like crossover to make happen, if you understand. So the fact that people responded to it and are so excited about it is awesome. And I think that you guys are going to really like what is coming up next. Another one I saw from the Night Feeder -TO2TK over on YouTube again said, "I've never been a metal or rock type of person. I don't like it, but this goes so hard. I love it." All right, let's get to a couple last comments that I've been seeing. One of the ones I'm saying are like people really want to see other dinosaur themed metal. A fun thing is that the Grand Myth was never supposed to be a dino metal band. This was this is an excursion for me, because actually I'm a huge fan of Coheed and Cambria, and I have my own sci-fi story that I've been working on for the better part of 10 years. And I actually had almost a complete album's worth of music done, and I just needed a break from it. I've been working on that album for like 2-3 years now. You can hear 2 of the tracks of it already on Spotify, Cyrus the Hunter and Patience. But anyways, this was like an excursion for me, and I had told Ethan, like, you know, if this is popular, I would love to do a full record. Like, this was such a brisk writing process. Like, I'm not even joking. I think I started working on this. I think I spoke to Ethan originally in February about the idea of doing something like this, and then when he said yes, I immediately was like, I I gotta write something to like show him I'm not just like, hey, this would be fun to do in the future. Like I'm immediate. I want to do this right now. And then the 3 songs came together really fast. Father Tyrant was actually the first one written, and we're just working through. We have some guest vocals on that one from somebody who Ethan is a fan of, and Agony was actually the song I think I like. I mean, it's the song I finished first because it's the one that's out, right? But I don't know. I really connected with Agony. I have some stuff going on in my life right now, and I think that it kind of bled into the lyrics of Agony. And then the last song, which hasn't been mentioned, but I'm excited to share here, is actually about the Cyclops Raptor and Ryan Baker and their relationship. So I called it Symbiotic Death, and it is another song that came together pretty quickly. It is a straight up classic death metal song. I've been telling people Agony is more of a post metal kind of a sound, whereas the other two are just your typical death metal, progressive death metal kind of a sound. And I see everybody talking about how much, like, all the dinosaurs that they're so excited about, and I just wanted to tell you guys, like, Spinosaurus gang, rise up. That's who we are, boys. Yeah, I fucking love Spinosaurus. I actually have a couple that I 3D printed and painted up there, but I can't really stand up in this current situation. But huge fan of Spinosaurus aegypticus. Like everybody, I saw Jurassic Park 3 and was like, that's the coolest thing I've ever seen. And then been gradually mesmerized by how much we learn about it every year. And it's very, I don't know, it's a cool dinosaur, right? But I'm hoping that I can convince Ethan to like have a Spinosaurus in the books and have it kill somebody named Brandon in the books. I think that would be cool. I think that would be hilarious, but it's totally fan service. So I hope that if it does happen, it's done well and not just for my own ego. All right, and then let's round this back out with one last thing I've been seeing. A lot of people have been caught off guard or maybe like really into the imagery of the EP, which is so sick, and the artwork. So if you guys are into 3D printing and miniature games, you might know Cleanch.art, who he's made a bunch of official 3D models for the Primitive War Miniatures game, which is actually based on another one called like Clonosaurus or Dinosaur Island or something like that. I have to look it up. But anyways, so I'd already bought those because I am a fucking nerd and I love that shit. So I had already bought those and went and asked Ethan, like, do you think Cleanch would be into this, of me using his stuff? And I had already started using it because I was like, worst case, he says no, and I'll go find some open source models. And best case, he says yes, and I get to use them because they're sick models. And he actually approved it. So on streaming for like the Spotify Canvas crap and for like YouTube visualizers and stuff, all 3 actual songs, Symbiotic Death, Agony, and Father Tyrant, will all have their own art featuring the model that goes with them. And I'm really excited about that artwork. I almost shared it early on the announcement post for the EP, but I decided against it, which I'm glad I did. I think that those are going to be fun surprises. But that is all to say, the artwork you see for Agony and then for the other singles was all done by me in Blender with models supplied by Cleanch, which is awesome. I just love that this is like a Primitive War Super Friends kind of a EP going on, and it is very cool to see so many people so excited, and I hope that this just keeps the excitement going into the movie later this year. And you know, as a fan of the series, it is very cool to like be in somewhat part of it now, and it's very cool. And I just can't thank everybody enough who has purchased an EP or is gonna grab one down the line, or if you're just gonna listen on Spotify or share it with your friends. Like, all of that is so helpful. The Grand Myth is a passion project. I'm sure every guy, girl, they on the internet says those things, but I do mean it. Like, I price everything to what I can basically purchase the item for and ship it to you, and I don't make any money off of it. Everything is kept super DIY. I only outsource one piece generally, which is the mastering, to this awesome guy Neil, and that's it. Like, I really try to keep it all in-house to myself. Yeah, so I hope you guys are excited for what's coming up next, and just, you know, let's keep it going, and, you know, rip Agony as much as you can. Play that shit everywhere. Go break into a mall and play it on the mall on repeat or whatever. Don't do that, but if you do, tag me in the video. That'd be fucking cool. I'll send you a shirt. Awesome. Thanks, guys, and I'll talk to you later.